Happy Halloween, y'all! So, as I was going through my closet trying to figure out what I could scavenge together to make a ridiculous costume for a party tonight, I come across this crazy shirt that I created when I was 24, and it just got me thinking about how weird I used to be with making clothes. Um, I don't know what I was going. I love the thumb hole. Thumb holes are life, okay? But it got me thinking about Halloweens of my past, and I've had a couple really interesting ones. Like last year was my first time going to a naked Halloween party, so when I received the invitation, it said make your costume appropriate. In my head, I knew it was part of a nudist group, and I was like, why not? I've never done that before. That sounds awesome. But when I got that, I was like, oh, okay, so somebody's hosting it at their house. They want you to wear at least underwear. Make sure you don't have paint all over that gets on the furniture, blah, blah, blah. So I took that invite to say, hey, wear something that's a little discreet. Maybe we'll be outside and there's neighbors, whatever, but still be kind of naked. So I went as this devil, and I had a cape and a pitchfork and a thong. And I thought that was enough. And I got to the party, and clearly I had misinterpreted the invitation because once I walked in, everybody was butt ass naked. And they said that the invitation was supposed to be interpreted as basically don't wear a costume, wink wink. So I felt very weird. However, I kept my costume on the entire night because it was flawless. But another Halloween that is vivid in my mind was when I was a kid, and I want to say I was probably about 10. So it's like those peak trick or treating years. And I remember my mom and I had just moved to the side of town that was a little sketch. So she knew I missed our old stomping grounds, so she was like, we'll drive back there. It's the safest part of town. Cool, we're doing it. My best friend decides to come with. I'm dressed as the Red Ninja Turtle, shout out to Raphael. We're walking down the street, and all I remember is hearing my mom scream, and then looking back as we're walking up to ring a doorbell, and my bag, my full bag of candy was gone. And I remember my mom running up to us, and basically what happened was this group of 20 something kids totally stealth drove up behind us. We didn't even hear him coming. No lights on or anything down this winding road. And without stopping, jacked the bag of candy out of my mom's hands. And I was a sobbing mess. Ever since this happened, I've apologized to my mom for just being so selfish that I cared about my candy rather than her safety. But I remember after that, my mom took me to a bar to meet up with her friends, which this is, if you're from Wisconsin, you just get it. That's like life. A kid in a bar is not that weird. So my best friend and I, my best friend's probably 11 or 12, I'm 10, we're sitting in this bar, and the bartenders all collectively gather candy for me and bring it over to the table. So sweet. I'm bawling. I'm a mess. My eyes are red. Because, you know, when you're 10, that's your world. That's what trick-or-treating is. It's getting your loot. So not only did that happen, but then after like a couple days, I didn't know this, but the local radio station, Z93, shout out to Keith and Sam in the morning, but they had people in the city, my hometown, call in and donate some of their candy that their kids didn't want. Now, okay, so I went and picked up this bag of candy with my mom. It was the sweetest thing. They had like 3 grocery bags of candy to give me. Very sweet gesture. I got home. It was all fucking Tootsie Rolls and like peppermint swirly candy. Like, get the fuck out of here, people who donated. But it's the thought that counts. I was so appreciative. It made me feel like, wow, people care. Yes, this bad thing happened, but look at all of this outpouring of like great gesture. But that was probably one of my most traumatic Halloweens. We never did find out who stole that candy. I've always been curious. But I've had Halloweens ranging from literally just staying and doing movie marathons with friends, which actually turn out to be some of the best Halloweens, to growing up going to corn mazes with best friends and running through being terrorized by chainsaws. And I think my very favorite Halloween experience was 2 years ago. My best friend came in from out of town and she stayed with us the whole weekend, and we set up for one of the best Halloween house parties I have ever personally thrown, and Halloween is my jam, so I go all out for my house parties. But this house party was epic. We had a photo booth set up, there are hundreds of pictures, our friends had a blast. We had booze for days, food for days, costume contest, a porch with a haunted house theme. It was epic. And I think honestly some of those nights are the best Halloweens I'll ever have, are the ones where you just stay in and enjoy your best friends. Because there's a rush and definitely fun to be had going out downtown. However, the amount of time you spend waiting in line, and you're never going to get served a drink because the bars are overcrowded, and there's always that damn ridiculously high cover. It's like, what? If you couldn't afford to give the money for the costume contest, don't make it off of me coming through your damn door. But with that being said, I think as I get older, I'm so much more into like the dressing up and going to like a best friend's dinner party and then staying afterwards and getting a little boozed up and then maybe making it to your local 19, hashtag Minneapolis, just kind of like a divey bar where you could just chill and relax and not have all of the crowd sweating all over your damn costume. And excuse me, but one time I threw a house party and then we ended up going out to the bar after, and I was dressed up as Tom Cruise from Risky Business. Hey, underwear and a basic white button-up if you're not familiar. But I went out and I ended up getting people's costume makeup all over my white button-up and I had to throw it away. Like, what a waste of money. Stupid. Anyway, I know personally for me, I'd much rather be at a best friend's house party. I just so happened to have moved halfway across the country, so for this year I'll be in the bars. But I'm curious, what do people love to do for Halloween? Are you a haunted house person? Are you a house party? Are you going downtown for a costume contest? Or are you just staying in, watching horror movies, and having a cocktail, and calling it a night? Anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to make a quick Halloween video. I wanted to say, hey, happy Halloween, hope you're gonna have fun, and even if you're staying in, make it the best Halloween ever, please, as you do. Alright, I hope you're gonna have a great weekend, stay safe, be naughty, have fun. I'll see you next week.